On today's episode of the Fumblerooski podcast, couple running backs get right. Big paydays for Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. Quinnen Williams also gets a bag. Hunter Henry signs a 2-year extension. Same thing with Zay Flowers. He gets a 4-year extension. Couple Bears players out for extended time and other players also getting extensions / paydays. And we'll also get into some more training camp shenanigans, including a couple quarterbacks that like picking dandelions there with their ladies. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All that and more. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome to the Fumblerooski podcast by Secret Weapon Consulting. We got CJ, we got myself, Chris. Got a good one for you today. We got a lot to... Feels like we got a lot to talk about today, surprisingly.
Well, yeah, season's just around the corner. So
yeah, season's just around the corner. Just had the Hall of Fame game where Carolina Panthers took down the Arizona Cardinals 33-30 on a walk-off winner. How's that to start the season, huh? How about
Great. That? Yeah, greatest Hall of Fame game ever. Of course, the bar wasn't high, but greatest Hall of Fame game ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Carson Beck and Kenny Pickett were your 2 starting quarterbacks. And this game had a little bit of everything. It was a high-scoring affair played at the Hall of Fame, at Canton, Ohio, of course. And it was a mix of high-scoring, bad quarterbacks throwing hospital passes. Football's back. Football is back. Anything to add?
No.
Okay.
You agree. I agree.
Hey. And as we mentioned, the walk-off score, Haynes King, legend, will not be forgotten I guess the other thing to talk about is the memes that came out of that game. Because it was utterly 2026 Hall of Fame game, random Thursday night, and it's Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning highlights or something like that.
I think I did see that. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there was some great memes that came out of last week. But preseason is going to be full-fledged this week. Starting on Thursday, got the Cincinnati Bengals facing the Detroit Lions, the Packers and the Steelers, the Colts versus the Pats, Raiders and Cardinals, Texans and Chargers, 49ers. Well, I fucked up here.
Oh, my God.
No, we're terrible start. Terrible. No, Titans and 49ers. I was kind of reading off the ticker, and for some reason, I put down LAC twice like a dumbass. Gosh, damn it. Let's get into the real news, though. Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs both getting contract extensions. The Falcons set the market, and the Lions rose above it. Bijan was how many days was 24 hours that Bijan held the record of highest paid running back of all time?
I think something I don't know how long it was, but I did see that graphic.
It was a pretty short amount. It was like Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, short amount of time. Granted, I think that was more like a week, but same idea. It did not take very long for the Lions to be like, all right, time to sign him. But well worth it. Jahmyr Gibbs ended up getting the higher salary, of course. Bijan was first. I think he got signed on Wednesday of last week. And then Jahmyr Gibbs got signed the day after that. So let's and it's funny too, because we were obviously we were talking about it last week of these 2 guys that were kind of in contract hold-ins. And well, lo and behold, I think this has happened quite a number of times now. quite a number of times this offseason where we're like, oh, well, this guy's kind of getting into hold in, and then all of a sudden they get the bag. Which is funny because when we were talking about it last Monday, it was Jeremiah Love and Devon Achane as the top 2 paid running backs, and Jeremiah Love being a freaking rookie. But both guys, 24 years old, got a 3-year, or Bijan got a 3-year, $66.7 million, 22.3 AAV. For Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 years, $67.5 million, 22.5 AAV. Doesn't change my mind of who's the better running. I still think Bijan's the better running back, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and fucking fight over $750,000 of who the better running back is.
Yeah. I still think it's weird that the rookie for the Cardinals, Jeremiah Love, is what, the 4th highest paid running back in the league?
Yeah, he's now the 4th highest paid running back. And like the names that are in like the top 10, like some of them make sense. Like Jonathan Taylor also just got an extension too. Kind of in the middle of that, 2 years, 44 mil. But like looking at the top 10 highest paid guys, there's like a couple names in here that are like, really? Like Jeremiah Love for one, Travis Etienne, and he just got signed to the Saints. Breece Hall, he's still young though. Those are a couple names that I'm just kind of like, okay. Like we talked about Jeremiah Love last week and why that is and the guaranteed money. You want to know who's just outside that top 10?
Who?
Christian McCaffrey and Ramondre Stevenson.
All right, well, Stevenson I kind of get because he's not even like the lead RB1, but McCaffrey, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Saquon is getting paid like 3.2 mil more, and Kenneth Walker is getting paid more than CMC as well. But granted, I mean, CMC got that. He got paid in like 24, or that contract started in 24. And the market didn't really start to really rise till the year after that with the Saquon contract.
Oh. Which is weird because, wow, running backs are not getting paid jack.
Well, they weren't.
In NFL terms.
Yeah. I mean, the money is still like, you can kind of tell that there is still that turning of the tide where these running backs are starting to actually get paid. Not as much as like, say, like the Jettas and Jahmyr, obviously, or a quarterback for that matter. But they're starting to get their fair share.
Yeah, but are any of these contracts going to be worth over, say, $100 million in their total if everything's accounted for? No, I'm not seeing it. And the only reason that Jeremiah Love is being paid as much as he is just due to the nature of the ever-expanding rookie deal and how it's all guaranteed now. Because I think some idiot team started that, and now the rest have to follow suit. Otherwise, you get holdouts, and now it's matriculating its way into the second round. Oh, joy. So, at this point, that because, with the Jeremiah Love thing, how at one point he was the highest paid running back in the league, Yeah. And because of that, that's just going to artificially inflate the market further, which that could be a good thing for a lot of these teams. I mean, for a lot of these players, but from a team perspective, I think they're going to retreat more into the running back by committee approach, or perhaps invest more in a quarterback who can scramble. Because, why? And let's be real. Of all the positions, running backs arguably have the shortest shelf life. So why are you going to be handing out mega deals to a guy who theoretically might not even play? I know there's a risk for every position, but for running backs, it's the highest. Why would you risk that, but instead just have a committee approach? And that's growing in popularity. I mean, much to the chagrin of fantasy owners everywhere, where we have to talk about all the fantasy handcuffs. Like, for example, when Bijan Robinson first took the scene, he would get right to the goal line just for Tyler Algier to hawk his touchdowns. So, and we talk about that all the time, like that epidemic of like touchdown hawking, how you'll have the star running back. Then, like I said, like they get to the goal line, then the other one like gets subbed in, and that I still think there's some shady stuff going on like there, but it still serves to the point where they don't want to use their running backs all the time. And when you're not getting used like that, and because there are fewer and fewer true what we call bell cow types, they're going to get paid less. And I am happy for Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, especially since they're not really cuffed anymore, thankfully.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Bijan's number 2, I think it was like Brian Robinson, which that's something. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I saw a joke where someone said I could see Bijan getting traded because it's the Falcons. I'm like, I could low-key see it, honestly. I mean, I never expected it to happen, but if it did, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the other thing, too, is like when you look at the Falcons, you could say they're a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team. And we kind of saw that with Saquon and the Eagles. Like, first year they got Saquon, they win a ring. And it's like you got to have the team first before you really go out and get that and freaking splurge on a running back like that. I mean, granted, Bijan, Jahmyr, and a lot of these guys are homegrown guys that they're trying to keep around till they're damn near 30, and then they can fucking get rid of them. But I feel like this kind of floats in the same boat. And the Lions, the Lions the last couple of years have kind of been trending downward instead of back upward.
Yeah. I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Not to say that paying these guys is a bad idea. Great. I'm all for Jahmyr and like getting guys like Jahmyr and Bijan because these are the top 2 running backs in the league, and you want to be able to hold on to them. They're your guys. Keep them. But now you got to figure it out after that. Does that change AV at all? Well, in terms of when we mentioned Jeremiah Love being the 4th highest paid running back, that was in terms of value. In terms of AAV, Jahmyr, Bijan, JT, Saquon, CMC, and Achan, and then Derrick Henry. Yeah. Value is not there, though. Quinnen Williams got paid. That was news from Monday morning. $105.9 million deal, 3 years. Reported by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler and Ian Rappaport on Monday. $63.35 million guaranteed at signing, and a $35.3 million annual average, second highest among DTs coming in. He was signed through 2027 in a 4-year extension worth $96 million, guaranteed $66 from the Jets back in 23. So now he's signed through 2030. Obviously, Quinnen Williams going over to the Cowboys via trade last season as part of the Jets' massive overhaul. But, Jerry, you decide, you know what? We'll just give George Pickens his $30 million for this year. Let's throw everything at Quinnen. But I mean, if you're gonna make sure this defense stays upright and actually have a good defense this year, well, outside of what you did in the draft, this is I feel like this is kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, I think you could say that. Imagine if you gave Micah Parsons that money, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it had to be said.
No,
you just took the scenic route to paying a star defensive player. It's like, really?
Really?
It's kind of like that scene from Family Guy where Peter Griffin wants a boat and someone offers it to him. And he's like, or offers him, like, I think the money to buy a boat.
Yeah.
But instead, they say to him, or you could have what's in this mystery box. And Peter's like, oh, a boat's a boat. But the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. Like that's how the Micah Parsons trade worked out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Ends up being the third largest contract. Or, excuse me. This is the largest third contract ever for a defensive lineman. Not the third largest third.
Huh.
Yeah. And in total, the Cowboys, this is essentially, like, if you combine the two together, it's a 5-year, $153.15 million deal with $101 million guaranteed.
Hey, good for him. Like, I'm happy he's getting paid, but Dallas, that's all I have to say, really.
Yeah. Good deal, though. Good deal. Gotta do what you gotta do. Hunter Henry signs a 2-year extension with the Patriots also this Monday morning. It's a good deal. I've seen some Pats fans on Twitter kind of being like, well, why are we giving him an extension when we brought this other guy in? And, like, especially since, Hunter Henry still had a great season last year, and I would assume he's still going to be pretty productive this year. Maybe not as much now that there's more weapons, more mouths to feed. But, for a guy like Hunter Henry, I will always love Hunter Henry because, he was brought in for that Mac Jones rookie year back in 21. And he was pretty much one of the only guys, like, through this entire thing that really, really went through the shit that this team went through for 3 years. And here he is. He's being rewarded for it. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, look, as a Pats fan, I'm a huge fan of Hunter Henry. But I think he's earned it is all. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not, as a Pats fan, I'm getting a little scared of the Christian Gonzalez thing because I can't shake this awful feeling in the back of my head that they're gonna do a classic Patriots, dare I say classic Belichick move, where we have a disgruntled star and then trade him for pennies on the dollar and like a pure salary dump type deal.
Yeah.
Which has happened many times. And I'm sorry, if they do that, I won't be able to stomach it. I just won't.
Yeah.
Because that just says, oh, we care more about, the bottom line rather than winning. If that's the case, I'll just turn on the goddamn Red Sox. But I think they'll get it done. I've heard Ian Rappaport say stuff like it's a matter of when, not if. So that's good. But in the meantime, I'm happy with Hunter Henry, and he deserves it. I think there's a case to be made that he's the 4th best tight end in Patriots history, only behind number 1, Gronk, number 2, Ben Coates, number 3, probably, unfortunately, Aaron Hernandez. I know we're not allowed to say that he was good, but he was. Yeah, he was insane. He did horrible stuff, but he was good.
I don't think it's a bad thing to say.
No, but people are allowed to say, but you're not allowed to say that. That's what they try to say. Is like, oh, you're not allowed to say he was good. And these are the same people that'll fucking rock a Ray Lewis jersey.
Who says that? Who says you can't say that Aaron Hernandez? I want to know who's saying that you can't say Aaron Hernandez is a good player.
I know, because you're not allowed to praise him because of all the horrible stuff he did. And I totally get that. You're not allowed to say he's good, but it's like, really? But I'm allowed to say Ray Lewis? The only difference between them is just what the verdict was. Come on.
The only reason
the double standard is real is all. And I know, and you guys probably saw this on the show before, like this is like a year ago where Tuck was needling me about Aaron Hernandez. And I said, yeah, New England cuts their murderers. Ravens fans build statues of theirs. And yeah, that shut him right up. It was like, I don't know. But long story short, yeah, Hernandez is number 3 and Hunter Henry's number 4. Hunter Henry by the end of his career could move up to number 3, honest to God.
I think the only reason why the Aaron Hernandez story, I mean, outside of the fact that he killed 3 people, is that freaking the reason why it blew up the way it did is because he was so damn good. So I guess that's like the unspoken thing. Because like, say it was fucking like, I don't know. Give me a random Pats player. Let's say it was like fucking Jack Jones or something like that.
Yeah.
It would not be making the airwaves.
Mm.
Well, it'd be making the airwaves, but not to the extent of what we just saw with Aaron Hernandez. Just saw, even though it was like, fucking almost 15 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't want to go off.
I don't want to talk about murderers anymore.
No, like I just realized, like, just the double standard just like hit me. But it's like, yeah, but no, he is probably like number 3. Then Henry's number 4. Henry could be number 3, but still, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Coates are 1 and 2. But all in all, I will definitely tell you that Hunter Henry is very deserving of his extension.
Yeah, no, I like your take that he's a top 5 tight end in Pat's history. I like that take. Speaking of the Ravens, Zay Flowers signed a 4-year, $140 million extension. Boy, I didn't realize we're just ripping right through it. I love it. But 4-year, $140 million extension. Let me pull up Spot Track right now. So in terms of AAV, he's now 5th amongst active receivers, behind JSN, Jahmyr, Drake London, and Jettas. He's getting paid $1 million more per year than CeeDee Lamb.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm happy for him. Like, I'll never clown someone for getting paid, for getting their money. I respect it. It's not him I have a problem with. It's the Ravens.
Yeah.
Where I hate, well, it's not just a him thing. This happens a lot, where you have a player who's good, not great, but you always end up having to pay him like a great player. That happens a lot. And it's just, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you may as well spend it on somebody who's like one of the game breaker receivers, but you're paying for Zay Flowers, who to this day, I still question if he could be a number 1 on like a championship team. Maybe the coach turns things around. But look, my question to you is this: is Zay Flowers a top 10 receiver in the league?
No.
He is not. That is correct.
He shouldn't be.
Here's a fun little mind exercise, kids. We're going to go, he's wide receiver 1. So what if we just went through the other teams and see how many receivers are better, as far as
I was actually just going to go one by one through like the top paid receivers that are on Spot Track right now.
All right, sure, whatever.
Because Zay Flowers is not worth $35 million a year.
All right. So let's see. So who are the others? Like, so can we go through the others that are paid more? Let's just see.
Yeah.
We'll see if we'd rather have
the 4 that are paid more: JSN.
Yes.
Jahmyr.
Absolutely.
Drake London.
I would much rather have Drake London.
Justin Jefferson.
Absolutely. So there's 4 off the rip at minimum.
Yes. Now let's go through the name. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of names here.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, would much rather.
DK Metcalf.
Low key DK is kind of overrated. I'd put them on like the same tier, but
yeah, low key. Yeah.
So at least here's 5.
Yeah. Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'd rather Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that one I feel like is another weird one, but I
would still take Garrett Wilson over Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Switch teams and Wilson does better.
All right. Terry McLaurin.
Well, I put them on the same tier.
Okay. AJ Brown.
Yeah, I'm taking Brown over Flowers
100%.
pretty easily.
Yeah. Chris Olave.
Call me crazy, but Chris Olave is like sneakily underrated. I would actually rather Olave.
Oh, yeah. And like the reason why his numbers normally aren't great is because he misses like 8 games a year.
Yeah, well, actually, no, then I'm retracting that because, best abilities, availability, and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could say that he's on that other tier with him. Yeah.
Monroe St. Brown.
Absolutely.
You're going to love this one. Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is currently getting paid more than T. Higgins, Alec Pierce, Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, George Pickens, Jamison Williams, Devonta Smith, Nico Collins, Devontae Adams.
Okay, well, already, you haven't even finished, and already, at bare minimum, I've heard 3 more in Adams, Waddle, and Pickens. Also, you haven't even mentioned Puka Nacua yet.
Oh, yeah.
I believe
that's because he's still on his rookie deal. that's
Puka
why.
is much, much better.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Also, I think there's argument to be made that T. Higgins is even, or at least if not better than him, then he's on the same level.
Yeah. I would take T. Higgins.
I mean, maybe like a toss-up, but yeah.
Yeah. The only thing really I would say probably with T. Higgins is maybe a little too inconsistent, but boy, when he shows up,
he's a number 2 because when he's number 1, oh boy,
that's what I mean. When there's been some games where when he shows up, he fucking when Burrow's just force feeding him the ball, kind of like what they do with Jahmyr Chase when they really force feed T. Higgins the ball and really spread it out. Goodness.
And like I said before, I'm not saying that Zay Flowers is a bad receiver. Far from it. But to be a top 5 highest paid receiver, nah. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy he's secured that money. But for the Ravens, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Also, low-key, I think Nico Collins has a case to be better as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the thing is, he's not flashy. He's not a big personality. He's not a highlight reel guy, but damn, he's consistent.
Yeah. Let's talk about some other extensions and paydays. What were some of the ones you were rattling off before we got going?
Titans guard Peter Skoronski got a 4-year, $100 million deal. I'm happy for him. I really am, but I can't lie. That's a little rich for a guard.
Yeah.
He is one of the best guards in the league, though. So do with that what you will. The trade-off is there. So he's not it's not like he's a good, not great guard. He's a great guard.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of these interior linemen, as Adam puts it, he has said guards grow on trees, which I see where he's coming from. I wouldn't necessarily go that far, but Skoronski is theoretically worth it.
Yeah, and you got Cam Ward on year 2. You want to be able to give your young quarterback an offensive line of some sort.
Next is Texans off-ball linebacker Henry To'o, 2-year, $16 million.
All right.
Yeah, he's actually really good. The problem is the Texans' defense is just stacked with humongous names. Just household dudes, as it were. So he's going to get overshadowed, but he is damn good. I wish he was a Patriot, low-key. High-key, actually. And as for another extension, Darnell Wright was extended. I can't find what it was, but he did get a 4-year extension.
Yeah. Stephon Diggs signed with.
Yeah, he got signed. Yep.
Was that a 1 year?
I believe so, yes. Oh, by the way, Darnell Wright received a 4-year, $116 million contract.
Damn.
Yeah, he's worth it. He's actually one of the better tackles in the league, I would dare say. Tackle play has been really good, and if you have even a good tackle, then you're loaded. You don't need to have an elite one, just a good one, and they do the job.
Yeah. That's all you can do. Any other ones of note?
Now, you mentioned Diggs signing with the Commanders. Yeah, he's on like a 1-year deal.
Yeah, he'll be a great 2 for them over there. Especially working with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Speaking of the commies, Laramie Tunsil tore his triceps.
Oh, yeah. There have been a lot of big injuries that have happened this offseason. What the hell's in the water?
Yeah. We're going to talk about Luther Burden and Kobe Bryant. They're out for extended time. Luther Burden, he's out for the preseason. Kobe Bryant's out. This was reported last week. We forgot to mention it or talk about it on last Tuesday's episode. But Kobe Bryant out 8 to 10 weeks at this rate, 7 to 9. But for what it was, the training camp and preseason injuries can be so fucky. And for the fact that Kobe Bryant, you got a guy like Kobe Bryant that just signed him in the offseason, and it's like, shit, like one of these top guys that we just signed over the offseason to boost up the defense. Now we're not going to have him for this year. That's a year wasted of a contract, but he's going to be back, which is great. So in those terms, let's get the calendar out. I love calculating this shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He'll be back by about beginning of October. So what? You're missing first 4 to 5 weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So that's a big, big win for the Bears. Obviously, not having him for the first month of the season sucks, but I mean, the fact that that's all it was, God bless him.
Yeah.
Anything to add there?
No, actually, I really don't. It's just, it sucks as all.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to see what he could do, but and that's if he heals up right, because sometimes guys don't heal the way they should, or they come back rusty, the explosiveness isn't there. So, and it sucks because they just paid Brian as well.
Yeah. Training camp shenanigans and other NFL news. We had some good ones last week. Well, from the one that came to mind pretty quickly was Kirk Cousins. There was a report that came out like Friday night or something like that, and it was Max Crosby took like one too many shots on Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins reportedly freaked the fuck out on him. Let me try to find this tweet from Rappaport, but definitely one of the weirder things that that happened from this past weekend or just last week in general. Kirk Cousins fight. Here we go. Kirk Cousins and Max Crosby got into a scuffle. Crosby hit Cousins' throwing arm, and after the second time, Cousins got into his face, grabbed his collar, and a shouting match ensued. Boy.
And it's funny because they're two very different people, we'll say. I'm not going to say what I mean by that, but they're very different people is all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, and Max Crosby's in the fucking wrong, of course, too. Don't hit the fucking quarterback, dumbass. Like, I know the human body craves contact. I understand that. I crave contact sometimes, but shit, like, let's take it easy. It's training camp. I know we wanna fucking get some pops in, but goodness.
Interesting.
Yeah. In other news, we got some quarterbacks that spending some time with their ladies on the practice field, picking dandelions with our fiancés now. Justin Herbert, Madison Beer, making goo eyes with each other. That pissed me off. That just pissed me off. I was like, dude, come on.
And nobody could even call you jealous because you actually like have a partner, I believe, a girlfriend, as it were.
Yeah. Well, I'm jealous of Madison Beer.
Dude, I really hope he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Hey man. I'm jealous that Madison Beer's got that hunk. You shitting me? Come on now.
Yeah, the one non-if in Herbert's life, you know?
Yeah. Congrats to Herbert and Madison Beer getting engaged, of course. And then there was Joe Burrow that was let me try to find this fucking yeah. Of course, there's a video trending. ML Football posted it. This video of Bengal star quarterback Joe Burrow and Sports Illustrated model Olivia Ponton sitting together on the field after practice has gone viral on social media. Remember when quarterbacks just left their fucking girls at home and just went to work?
I never really cared. This doesn't affect me at all. But there's something I have to say. Justin Herbert gets a pass for all this shit, and I don't like it. Because the thing is, if Patrick Mahomes does anything with his wife, they get some really heinous shit is said. And look, I know Mahomes' wife has behaved very poorly at games before, and she has said some very stupid things. But you'll notice that she hasn't done that lately.
I was about to say, she's dialed it back a lot in the last few years.
Yeah, she's dialed it back. And you'll see the horrific hate comments with Drake May and his wife and Michael May, are out, and people just say, yeah, the schedule or whatever, or they'll just start talking trash. But people will just drool over Herbert and Beer, and I literally don't know why. What is you know what I mean?
I mean, I like to drool over beer. I like to have a couple beers.
Now look, I'm a big beer man myself. Let's be real. But I'm just saying, I don't understand the double standard. Or hell, players in general, if a player's girlfriend weighs in on a game, they'll say, oh, shut your mouth. You don't know. You don't play. Learn your place. And yeah, when a player's spouse comments on the game, I tend to be like, okay, you don't play. Same thing, and I'd be the same way if it was a sibling or a parent who commented this. And look, as a Pats fan, I will tell you, whenever Tom Brady's father commented on anything, I would just say, you're such a loser. The only reason people care about you is because you helped create the greatest quarterback ever. You yourself haven't done shit. And God, whenever Giselle would say anything, good Lord, I did not care for that. But and even so, people didn't care for all that much. But Herbert and Madison Beer get a pass. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't even.
Honestly,
honestly,
it's not your Madison Beer thing. It's a Herbert thing. The things that attach themselves to Herbert get viewed through rose-colored glasses. I just think about it, right? Lamar Jackson gets labeled playoff choker. He's not for real. He's a regular season merchant. But meanwhile, Justin Herbert gets to scream his favorite word, if, and it's fine. Same thing for Josh Allen, and he's dating someone who's arguably more famous than Haley Steinfeld, with everything she does, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I know who Madison Beer is. I'm not entirely certain of what she does. I think she's an actress or something, maybe. I think she makes music. I don't really know. But then again, that's not me hating. I'm just not a celebrity person. I don't know most of them. So that's not a hate. But Josh Allen's playoff choker. Mahomes is your dad. But Herbert, it's no, you don't understand. It's never his fault. Drake May went to the Super Bowl his second year, beat Justin Herbert in the playoffs, outplayed him too, you could argue, behind a worse offensive line actually on the same tier, because Herbert's line was dealing with injuries, but May's was too. The difference is they just played. And it's really? I don't understand. Whenever a quarterback does something or screws up, they get blamed, but Herbert's never his fault. And I believe this is a manifestation of that.
Yeah. I honestly would say that I don't know if there's really a double standard here, just from the reactions I'm seeing right now on Twitter and the memes that have come out.
Well, you know what? That actually makes me happy then.
Let me share my screen.
I said, it's not even a Madison Beer thing. It's a Herbert thing about how he can literally do no wrong. Nothing's literally ever his fault. No, I'm just saying.
I just look at this fucking video. I'm sorry, that's not football.
No, and here's the thing, right? But what I hate is people can't have a rational discussion about this because they reply with these playground level ad hominems where it's like, "Ha, you're just jealous that you could never pull anyone's hot as Madison Beer. You're jealous. Justin Herbert has more money than you." And let me just say this: flexing another man's money is one of the most loserish things you can do. If you have ever defended an athlete to a hater by saying, well, he has more money than you, I'm not gonna lie, I hear that I'm just saying, I hear that the Middle East is mighty nice this time of year. Consider making a visit.
Yeah.
Like these people, like that's the thing. It's like you just say, I think that's weird. Most quarterbacks tend not to behave this way. And they just respond with insults. And that's how I know I'm right. And that's how we, Chris, because you're part of this, that's how we know we're right. Because they're attacking us instead of our claim. Because a lot of people say, oh, you're just jealous. Like, what? Come on. And as for Joe Burrow, at least Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. At least he has actual real accomplishments. Herbert doesn't have that. He is a social media quarterback. It's not even a Madison Beer thing. It's a Herbert thing.
Yeah, I think I just look at this video and I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? And second of all, Herbert's going to fucking hear about it in the locker room after practice when he gets back. Joe Burrow and I'm going to assume Olivia Potton, none of this shit's going on. But, all right, let's look at some memes now.
What?
Let's look at some memes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you could probably describe them for our listeners.
Oh, yeah, for the listeners, it's I don't even know what to describe this as. NFL hate memes, Chargers offense trying to learn the new playbook, Justin Herbert and Madison Beer. And let's call it a backyard wrestling thing. And it's like this. Everyone in this video is black, by the way.
You're going to get us canceled, Chris. You're going to get us canceled.
Sorry. Just for context. Basically, it's two dudes that are wrestling. One is a chick that's a referee, and one guy is basically pounding this other guy's head into his nuts. Another video is LA Chargers learning new offense in training camp. Justin Herbert and Madison Beer on the sideline, and it's two crickets fucking each other. This is great.
Oh, I love NFL Twitter. I love NBA Twitter too. Just sports Twitter is so funny.
Yeah. Here's another one. This was actually a retweet of the Joe Burrow thing. Justin, we need you here. You're starting quarterback. Justin Herbert and Madison Beer. And it's that montage clip of Natalie Portman and Christian Bale from whatever that movie is.
That's my favorite movie, Chris, whatever that movie is.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's look.
I'm sorry. I'm joking around. I'm a kidder. It's what I do.
I'm kind of curious what that movie is.
But I'm just saying. That's all. I'm just saying. We all takes, but the memes at least are funny. And the constant Herbert defense, like I said, it does get annoying. But
Knight of Cups is the movie.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it either. Knight as
I do love that movie. That movie.
That movie.
But all I'm saying is I don't know. Maybe it's this weird way that I don't know. Maybe Herbert is using Madison Beer to control the media in Hollywood and whatever we see. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Justin Herbert's got all figured out, and maybe she secretly controls everything. I don't know. That's all I got.
I don't know.
Because, these famous people, man. I mean, I'm sure that's probably why they don't do it with Mahomes, because, his wife doesn't control everything. Neither does Drake Mays. I mean, not that I pay attention, but I don't know. You see, the thing is, I feel like because I'm just going to say it, when athletes, I feel like there's a strategic way they go about it when they date celebrities to say, oh, hey, you can, boost my profile to more people. I'm not saying it's strictly transactional, not at all, but damn, that trade-off is insane,
Yeah.
where it's just like, how people that date athletes can't, or I mean, when athletes date really famous people like music folk and actors, actresses, etc., they could just be like, hey, yeah, now I can just expose myself to more people that came out wrong. But you know what I mean? My brand.
Pause. Damn. All right, let's fucking move on. Hall of Fame was this weekend. And I get really the biggest thing that came out of it, outside of Larry Fitzgerald giving his flowers to Randy Moss, which was pretty cute to see. But Adam Vinatieri, his speech was wild. His speech was something else.
Oh my God, yeah.
Basically he was just ever. Shout out to Pat McAfee, only person that loves to hold my balls more than my own wife. Hell yeah. Also took some shots at Brady and Belichick as well. The Brady joke being that he didn't want him to pull a Will Smith and have him, or he said pull a Will Smith and have him come up here and punch him like Logan Paul, or like he did, or slap him like he did Logan Paul or something like that. Two different things, but also took a shot at Belichick, saying that he was probably busy cheering on his girlfriend at a cheerleading competition. Did he say anything about, outside of thanking Kraft? He actually gave some roses to Bob Kraft and Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked.
Seen that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he bust Kraft's balls at all?
I don't recall. I don't believe so.
Yeah. I was about to say, I don't think he did. I guess the last thing that was on my mind, or last couple things that are on my mind for training camp shenanigans and other NFL news, Teddy Bridgewater officially announces his retirement. On this time, it's official. He wrote in an Instagram post. And this was a day after the Lions had already placed him on the reserve / retired list, which I would assume he was probably going to go back to. He wasn't even coaching high school football anymore anyways, right?
I don't think.
I don't know. That whole thing in Florida was fucking weird. But there was that. And the NFL also today, Monday, announced that they are going to allow coaches to design. Allow coach's designee to initiate replay challenges. So the head coach doesn't.
I'm sorry, a coach what?
Designee. I'm just reading it from this freaking ESPN article title. I think it's designee. Yeah. So essentially, NFL head coaches don't have to be the only ones throwing the challenge flag anymore, but they have to tell the officials prior to the game who's manning the red flag.
I feel like this is going to cause controversy in some capacity.
Yeah, I feel like that there's definitely going to be someone else is going to throw the challenge flag, and the jabronis that didn't read or didn't hear about this rule change are going to be like, what the fuck is this? It's going to be like, what's his face, or Spagnuolo, that one game calling a timeout instead of Andy Reid, and they granted him the timeout even though it was against the rules, except this time it's actually with the rules.
That was so weird. I still don't know why they granted him that timeout.
Yeah, I think that must have been just that was probably just an all-around brain fart from the ref.
Yeah.
High intense moment.
I also feel like from a player perspective, it's going to be like that Lions trick play where Taylor Decker reported eligible and the refs had that massive brain fart. They said, no, he didn't. And like the players said he did. You can see him reporting eligible, and just for the refs, I think like went in one ear and out the other.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what I could see. I can see another situation like that too, or won't even be, as you put it, a jabroni who doesn't understand. I think it's going to be something like they're going to say, oh, you didn't check with me before the game because, you have to like tell the refs, hey, this is going to be the guy who's going to be handling that or who could handle that. And I feel like we might have that moment where they're just going to forget who it is,
Yeah, 100%.
I sense it. I really do.
Well, that's all the scheduled content that we have for you today. Anything on your mind that we probably didn't get to?
No, not really.
Yeah, I think we touched on everything. There was a lot that happened last week, and we got it done pretty quickly, to say the least.
Yeah.
Hats off to the fellas. Yeah, but we're 1 week closer to the NFL season, and be sure to follow along for more coverage of the NFL. But other than that, new episode coming out next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we also have all our episodes available on streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon. Be sure to follow our Instagram, Fumblerooski_podcast, to keep up with the pod and the latest coverage on the NFL. Otherwise, we'll see you on next Tuesday. Over and out.